Rule Review is back, and this time we're talking about timeouts. Take a 30. Start the clock. Welcome back, everyone, to Rule Review. My name is Josh with the Officials Institute, and we are back to do once again what we do best: combine rules talk with video instruction for every official. If this is your first time to our channel and you enjoy our content, let us know by clicking the like button. And don't forget the subscribe and bell notification buttons to stay connected with all our new content we upload several times a month. Subscribe right now so we can all get better together. Timeout administration may seem like a not-so-fun topic to talk about, but it's still important. Important enough for the NFHS to make it a point of emphasis for the 21-22 basketball season. Unfortunately, too many officials are granting timeouts when the ball is loose and not in control of a player. So in an effort to help correct this issue, let's get started and review some video, like only the Officials Institute can, on timeouts. Roll those clips. In our first clip, we watch a ball being passed to a teammate who turns and walks toward his bench, only to have the ball hit him and into the hand of his opponent. But then the center official hustles in and grants a timeout. Taking a closer look, we see that right before the player passes the ball, his teammate is already looking toward his bench, and this is because the head coach at this very moment is asking for a timeout. The passed ball heads toward his teammate and hits him in the back, and before the other team can scoop the ball up, the whistle is blown, granting the timeout. But this is an incorrect procedure, because the rule clearly states that there must be player control before granting a timeout. And in this play, the ball was clearly loose and controlled by no one when the whistle sounded. But wait, back up. The coach was asking for a timeout here, right? So there was player control at the time of the request. This is true. Player control existed when the request was made. However, the rules clarify that a timeout occurs when an official grants and signals a request for a timeout, with a whistle and the approved stop the clock signal. So, in other words, just because a coach is requesting a timeout, no matter how loud or obvious it may be, it does not officially become a timeout until that request is granted by an official. Then, and only then, is play stopped and a timeout administered. Go ahead and watch that one again. In our next clip, there is a rebound with a player hustling to the ball, diving on top, and then passing to a teammate. But while the ball is loose, a timeout is granted. How can this be? We just learned that there must be player control to grant a timeout. Watching it again, we noticed right as the player jumps on and holds the ball, his coach yells and signals for a timeout request. Knowing this is a likely timeout situation, the official immediately recognizes the request, verifies the ball is in control of a player on that team, and grants the request. The fact that the ball was loose before the whistle was blown should have no bearing. Many times, on bang-bang plays like this, split decisions are made, yet the reaction time to put air in the whistle lags a bit. But as long as it isn't much longer than a second or so, as in this play, happening in merely fractions of a second, the ruling completely falls in an acceptable range of delay. So because at the time of the coach's timeout request, even if just for a moment, there was player control, and because the official sounded the whistle and signaled with a reasonable reaction time, the ruling to grant the timeout was correct. Here it is again. Next up, a pass is stolen, creating a backcourt press situation. And when the pressure results in a tie-up between two teams, the official grants a timeout in favor of the offense. Moving in and analyzing the play, we see after a double team is established, one of the defenders reach in and grab the ball. At this point, the ball is no longer in control of a player. Control is being fought for between two opposing players, and because of that, does not qualify for the granting of a timeout. This is another example where just because a coach requests a timeout does not automatically give them one. All requirements must be met first. In fact, when opponents have their hands so firmly on the ball, as they do here, if control cannot be obtained without undue roughness like this, a held ball should be ruled. Watch it again. In our last video, a team is bringing the ball up from the back court after a made basket, and after getting the ball into the front court, the trail official calls a timeout for an injured player. Let's discuss this procedure in a little more detail. As the ball is coming up, we notice there is an injured player down. If we, as officials, recognize there may be an immediate threat to the well-being and safety of that player, we may stop play at the moment we notice the player is down. However, in most cases, we should wait, as the official did in this clip. There are 3 specific times in which the rules book allows a timeout to occur to address an injured player. 1. After the ball is dead. 2. When the ball is in control of the injured player's team. Or 3. When the opponents complete a play. So why did the officials stop play while the ball was still being passed around? Because the rules book explains further that a play is completed when a team loses control, including throwing for a goal, or withholds the ball from play by seizing to attempt to score or advance the ball to a scoring position, which is exactly what happened here. The offensive team is bringing the ball up the court when the injured player goes down, but they wait to suspend play because the ball is still moving toward the basket in an effort to score. Once the attacking team stops and passes the ball up top, they are no longer advancing the ball and attempting to score, and play can be stopped to attend to the injured player. This is a textbook example of a properly called timeout for injury performed by these officials. Watch that one again. Thanks for watching our rule review topic of timeouts. Now that we've gone over these plays in detail, explaining what to watch for when evaluating whether or not to grant a timeout request, I'm confident the next time you're faced with one, you'll be spot on with your decision. Thanks again for watching. Have a good game. Hey, you made it to the end of this video, which means it's time to hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons. Also, please consider making a donation and help keep this channel running with the best basketball rules video training anywhere. I'll see you in the next one.